pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all.
In 1933, the chief concern of the American government was to break the back of a bad depression. Employment for hundreds of thousands of young men and war veterans was imperative.
When I graduated from high school, I couldn't even find a job in the 5 and dime store as a clerk. They wouldn't hire anybody. They didn't have room.
It wasn't bad being on a farm. We had all we wanted to eat. No money. Couldn't sell nothing.
It was rough. The Depression was rough. And so and President Roosevelt, he always amazed me that he could be born into wealth, but he could relate to the poor. He knew what they needed. And like when he took office, he said, I want this done, and now. You know, not next year and 6 months from now, and I want it now.
This nation is asking for action, and action now.
And the recovery bill gives us the means to conquer unemployment.
The organization and work of the Civilian Conservation Corps was undertaken. The immediate restoration, conservation, and further development of the country's natural resources.
Take care of the unemployment, and at the same time you have the youngster to take their leadership in a country. And I like in Montana. I've never been in Montana before.
I served in New Germany State Park in Western Maryland.
Company 2323, Sligo, Pennsylvania.
And I have pictures of my husband. Now, he went to Fort McCullough, Alabama first.
I was down at Cape Cod, Falmouth, Massachusetts.
We would get up in the morning by the sound of the bugler, get cleaned up, shined our shoes, and made our beds. And by that time, we was ready to go to work, 8 o'clock.
I got to eat first. Leave the eating, go right to the garage, get my truck, check it all out, take it down and park it in the line, pick the boys up, take them to work.
If you're going out on the road, you get in the back of one of these trucks. They're going out to the forest. We cut down trees. We did some firefighting in the forest.
Dug a ditch, planted trees, and took care of the trees, trimmed them wherever they need trimmed.
It didn't work just on trees. We worked on building irrigation canals.
Someday you take them on cabins, building cabins. Next day you take them building roads.
We build and build and build. We do this all day long, except for lunchtime. Then they have a boxed lunch.
And then I had to go back to the kitchen, get their lunch for them. You get 2 sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly, and maybe a bologna sandwich, and some black coffee.
And then we start over again, and we come back about 4 o'clock, and we have a shower outside. We take a shower.
And then we'd line up and go to the mess hall. We had to wear a tie, be dressed up for our evening dinner. And it was a family style at our camp. We eat your mashed potatoes, string beans and peas, and then meat. And then after dinner, well, then we request a truck to take us to the roller skating rink.
So I'd take them into Frostburg, Maryland. Go to movies at night, girlfriends, if they had one. All of them was your friends. You didn't have no enemies. Everybody got along perfect. Money-wise, I made a lot of money. I got about $6 a month, what they actually give me. $25 went home, they put $7 in the bank for me.
Providing we didn't owe the canteen any money. See, we could buy a canteen book for $2, and we could buy our smoking tobacco or candy bars.
Most of your money was spent in the canteen. You charged everything. At the end of the month, you paid your bill. And that's the way it was. So my mother got $21, $23 from the government.
The CCCs was to help us to find jobs in the outside. As a clerk running a typewriter, or we could learn the trade as to become an electrician. We had a civilian instructor there, and he was also a carpenter. He was an all-around handyman. Even taught us how to mix cement and how to be a bricklayer. And the place to learn was in the CCCs for us. Where else would we get that? Nobody else would take the time to teach us like the CCCs did.
My husband went in, he was only 16. He was a boy. And so many of them, you know, they went in as boys, but they came out as men, and men that contributed and continued to contribute to this country.
When war broke out, that was the end. By December of '42, we had no more camps because I was drafted into the United States Army.
You know, a lot of people went in the service after that, and that's about all they can do. There was no more CCCs to go in. You either be a Boy Scout and do the same thing, or join the service, or get in trouble.
We organized this chapter 113, October the 8th, 1984.
Go ahead, what you got to say?
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
We're glad to see you guys again. Glad to be back to your meeting. We've made a lot of progress at Gambrel with the statue site.
So many of the other states already had the workers' statue, and Maryland had none. And so that's why this chapter was working so hard to try to get a statue.
And we raised about $8,000 or $9,000, but we've been working years for that. And the state of Maryland came along and helped us out, and that did us good.
And right now what we're doing is trying to figure out how to take the funds, what we have, and highlight that statue.
We're here to help you, both financially and labor.
I want to see you out there with a pickaxe.
Fort Frederick, yeah, CCC built that. Gambrel State Park started with the CCCs.
Where I worked became the Otis Air Force Base during World War II, and I feel proud of that.
If you go to Skyline Drive, you'll find evidence, and you'll notice CC boys were there. If you go to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, you'll see evidence the CCC boys were here.
In New Germany State Park in western Maryland. 14 log cabins there, they rent out year-round. And they got a barracks left there yet, because I helped build it.
To benefit not just the temporary year, it includes him in a lifetime.
That's why we wanted them to get a statue so that the people will remember that, hey, the CCC's built this park.
Department of Resources, hey, we got donations. So we picked up on it and we got the statue. You ever been to Gloucester, see the fishermen? That's important to them. This is important to us.
So now we got one. And so you have to let people know so they won't visit.